We don't differentiate between the core subjects and the co-curricular activities. Collaboration happens inside the homeroom as well as outside the homeroom. Not about the product that they give out in the end, and it's not about rote learning from us, but how they.
Hi, welcome to Illustrate, your very own school search engine that helps you find the best schools for your kid based on various filters and parameters. Today, we have Ms. Neha, who's a teacher at the Trio World Academy, which is in Sahakar Nagar in Bangalore. Let's speak to her and understand more about the school and also some general concerns that parents are likely to have while joining their kid in a school. Thank you so much for joining us, ma'am.
Thank you for having me.
Ma'am, first and foremost concern that a lot of parents have is what sort of curriculum should I join my kid into? And when they think of curriculum, they are equally concerned about whether the curriculum balances out both academic excellence and also co-curricular activities. So here at Trio World Academy, which teaches IB as a curriculum, how do you think both are being balanced out?
So our approach being transdisciplinary, we don't differentiate between the core subjects and the co-curricular activities. Our entire day is a mix of everything that they do at school, be it their academics or, inside the homeroom, outside the homeroom. So what we just feel is that since we are firm believers of transdisciplinary learning, we create that environment for the students where it is a balance of everything. It's not just concentrated on academics all day or co-curricular activities all day. And because we take the same concept throughout different, whether it is PE or be it robotics, art, whatever it might be, we make sure that the same concept or the transdisciplinary learning as we speak is across. So the children don't feel the pressure of just being inside a homeroom. It's fun throughout.
Got it. And since you mentioned homeroom, for those people who are not familiar with the jargon used at Trio, can you tell me what a homeroom is and why do you call a classroom as a homeroom?
In simple terms, a classroom is what we call as a homeroom. It is, in layman's language, homeroom is their home here, and it is their base where they mostly sit. And of course, with collaboration that we do, collaboration happens inside the homeroom as well as outside the homeroom. So in simple terms, it's a classroom that the children come to.
Got it. And earlier you were talking about how IB balances out both academic excellence and the co-curricular activities. But I believe a great infrastructure is equally important to ensure that student gets this well-rounded development. So at Trio, what sort of physical infrastructure do you have in place for the curriculum to get executed 100%?
So for this, our school supports us entirely. The IB curriculum being very dynamic. It supports us with like the state-of-the-art football field where the children go out to play. Sessions happen there, our outdoor play happens there. And then we have a temperature-controlled swimming pool, which is also part of our curriculum. Swimming is very much part of, their schedule during the week. And then the musical instruments that we offer. So the children can choose. That is another part of our infrastructure. Another thing is the multi-cuisine cafeteria, where the children dine with us and they spend most part of their day with us. So that is also part of our infrastructure. And I think another very integral part of our infrastructure is the Apple ecosystem that we have. So keeping pace with times, that we are completely, not just pen and paper, but we are a combination of pen and paper and digital learning. So it completely supports our tech integration that we want to offer to our students of today's times.
Got it. And for a lot of parents whose kids are in this EYP or MYP stage, they're very keen about the timings of the school. So can you tell us what time does the school start and how does a typical day for a kid at Trio look like?
So we start at 8 in the morning. For PYP early years, we all assemble for breakfast first thing in the morning. So we're all energized and there's a buffet laid out. So we start at 8 in the morning. The students arrive, whether by bus or the parent drop. And then we have a session until 9:35. We have a short break where the children either go out to play, get quick washroom breaks, pick up, fill in their water bottles. And that's the break that we have. And then we go right until 11:50, which is our lunch break. So we have lunch for about 40-45 minutes. And then after that, we have our next break at 2:30. So all of these in between are our homeroom, our specialist classes. Days, planned very well, where the timetable is equally divided between the homeroom sessions and the specialist sessions. There's playtime, indoor, outdoor. And we break again at 2:30 for 15-20 minutes, where we take a quick break for snack. The children get ready for their next sessions. And after that, we have what we call the ECA, which is the extracurricular activities. And that's the last chunk before they leave for the day. So we wind up between 3:15 and 3:20 is when the day ends. And the children move to the bus bay or the parent pickup, and then that's how our day looks like at Trial.
Got it. And for those tiny kids, assessment is very difficult to actually understand what they've learned and how are they expressing what they've learned. So how does assessment happen for especially for EYP kids?
So assessment is mostly an ongoing process. So it's not about the product that they give out in the end, and it's not about rote learning from us, but how they pick up the concepts and how they apply it, not just in the classroom, but beyond the classroom as well. So assessments can be, it's not just a pen and paper test always. Sometimes it's a quiz, sometimes it's a group activity, sometimes it is a circle time where they all express their opinions of what they picked up from the concept that we've learned. So it's completely hands-on. It doesn't always have to be like a question and answer session on pen and paper. So it can be a quiz, it could be a debate, it could be anything where our ultimate objective is for us to understand if the child has achieved the entire concept and if they've got it and if they can apply it in their room.
Got it. And generally, in case if some parent has any questions or concerns, how do they reach out to the teachers at Trio? How accessible is the management or the faculty? And how often do they get to meet the teachers in person?
So Trio at large is completely people oriented, and we have a great relationship with all our stakeholders. So yes, parents being the center, and of course with the children. What happens here is that we are open to meet. You can just take an appointment with us at the front desk and we coordinate the time schedules, and the parent is welcome to meet the teachers, the coordinator at any given point of time. Other than that, on a daily basis, we have a platform called Toddle. So this is like a messenger where the students have an account, as in like we have it's called Toddle Student and Toddle Family. And then we have like an educator app. It's all part of the same parent company. So Toddle is our communication platform. So that's how they can write to us directly. We communicate to the parents. So it's a two-way communication platform. If we have to send out any notices, any circulars that need to be given out, reminders that need to be given out, all of that is done through Toddle. And then we also share with the parent through the week what the students have done in each classroom, in each homeroom. So how did the week go for them? What did they cover during the week? And we do share like a newsletter. It's like an editorial that we put out on a weekly basis, giving them an insight into what has been done inside the classroom. Given IB is very dynamic and we don't use textbooks, I think we do rightly let the parent know what has gone on with the students in the class, outside the homeroom. And we do share pictures as well. So that is like a complete editorial that we put out for the parents on a weekly basis. And the same thing we do on a monthly basis as well, which is a complete roundup of the month that has gone on, not just in your own students, in your own child's class, but throughout across PYP. So we send out a monthly editorial as well, a monthly newsletter.
Got it. And for a lot of parents, the general perception is IB has a lot of syllabus to cover and there is so much to learn in IB and stuff. Should a student really go to any after school assistance from like tuitions and stuff to cover the entire syllabus? Do you recommend that as a teacher?
So we certainly don't recommend tuitions as such, where you need assistance over the same curriculum. What we do emphasize on is the idea of taking your learning beyond the classroom. It's not just what we researched and thought about in the classroom, where our inquiry-based learning is not restricted to the classroom, but we do encourage where they go read up, whether they pick up a book or they look up the internet with the guidance of their parents. We do encourage reading up more on the concept that has gone on. Whereas as far as we go, we don't go by tuitions, and that's not something we recommend at all.
Got it. And finally, for those parents whose kids are currently in CBSE or any other curriculum, is it going to be easy for a kid to get the transition from CBSE to IB? And what do you think the student should be prepared for, especially in the early days of joining in an IB curriculum?
I think one of our key values here in IB is being open-minded, is that you come with a clean slate and an open mind. Of course, human tendency is that you do need to take to the curriculum, find out how it goes, and hard work is the key. I think to ask questions and to understand the curriculum, we are a no textbook curriculum, but at the same time, that doesn't restrict us. That gives us a wider scope about how we go about core concepts that are relevant in today's times. So in terms of coming from a different curriculum and adjusting to IB, I think we are way more welcoming that way, and we take it at their pace. as it's no one size fits all. We give the student the time that they need and the support that they need to settle in to our kind of curriculum, to understand how the system works. And we have a structure, but we have a structure that suits everyone at their own pace. We don't have a rigid system of exams. We have an ongoing assessment system where, like I mentioned earlier, is that it's not just pen and paper. It's something that suits the child. We have a choice board. So when we give the child and say an example on creating a post, say, just putting out an assessment on the understanding of animals, for example. So you don't have to just create like a chart. You can come up with like a brochure. You can come with a diorama. You can come with anything of your choice to express to us what you have understood best out of it. So there's no rigidity.
Got it. That's very interesting to know. And in the interest of time, we're having to wind up for today, but we look forward to meeting you once again and getting to know a lot more about Tri World Academy and IB as a curriculum. Thank you very much for your time. Thanks a lot for your time. Thank you very much.